You've just spent $60,000 on a brand new truck. You drove it off the lot, windows down, that new car smell filling your lungs, feeling like you finally made it. And within the first year, that truck you trusted with your life and your money is sitting in a repair bay with a bill that makes your stomach drop. That shiny, powerful beast they sold you, it was designed to fail. And the worst part, the people who built it knew exactly what they were doing. So here's the question I need you to answer in the comments. What's the one truck brand you thought was bulletproof, but secretly you're starting to wonder if it's just a ticking time bomb? I'll wait, because I want to see if your brand shows up on this list of the biggest truck lies ever sold to the public. Let's start with the biggest lie, the one that hurts your wallet the most, the lie that you need a heavy-duty truck for light-duty work. The manufacturers are absolute geniuses at this. They market these HD trucks as unstoppable, construction site, ranch-ready monsters. And they are. But here's the trap. They convince you that you need a 1-ton truck to pull a camper twice a year. So you buy the diesel. You get the dually. And what happens? You spend your entire ownership fighting emissions systems that were never designed to be driven softly to the grocery store. The diesel particulate filter clogs up because you aren't working the truck hard enough. That's a $5,000 repair waiting to happen. They sold you a semi-truck engine for suburban duties, and when it breaks, they act like it's your fault for not driving it hard enough. It's a scam, and it gets worse. Let's talk about the lie of lifetime fluids. You've heard this one. You open the owner's manual, and it says the transmission fluid is good for the lifetime of the vehicle. Sounds amazing, right? No maintenance? But here's the scary part. They don't define what lifetime means. To the manufacturer, the lifetime of the truck isn't 200,000 miles. It's the length of the warranty. That's it. So you roll past 60, 80, 100,000 miles, never changing that fluid, thinking you're saving money. Meanwhile, that transmission is slowly cooking itself, shaving metal filings into the pan. The moment you hit 120,000 miles, that transmission grenades itself. And when you take it to the dealer, they look at you with a straight face and say, well, you should have changed it at 50,000. But they told you it was lifetime. That is a trap designed to get you out of a perfectly good truck and into a new one. Now, I want you to think about the buying process itself. This is where the lies start before you even turn the key. The dealership. They have a specific lie they use to extract thousands from you. The market adjustment. They tell you, well, everyone is paying this. We can't get these trucks. So you pay 10, 15, sometimes 20,000 over sticker price because you're afraid of missing out. But here's the hidden truth. That market adjustment is pure profit. And what are you getting for that extra money? You're getting parts that are being shared with economy cars. Look under the hood of a modern luxury truck. Look at the electronics. The window switches, the door lock actuators, the infotainment screen. You're paying a luxury price for components that are pulled from the parts bin of a budget sedan. They slap a rugged-looking grille on it, give it a lifted suspension, and convince you it's a premium piece of engineering. But the bones of the electrical system are the same ones failing in the cheap economy models. You overpaid for the illusion of exclusivity. And let's not ignore the engine bay. There's a design flaw happening right now that manufacturers are hoping you won't notice until you're out of warranty. I'm talking about the placement of major components, specifically the oil pan, the oil filter, and the starter. On some of the most popular trucks on the road today, to change the starter, you have to remove the entire front differential. That's a job that used to cost $100 in labor. Now it costs $2,000. Why? Because it's cheaper for them to assemble it that way in the factory. They save $50 on a wiring harness, and you pay $2,000 in labor down the line. They are offloading their manufacturing costs directly onto your credit card. That is intentional. They know that when that starter dies, and it will, you're either going to pay them a fortune to fix it, or you're going to trade it in for a loss and buy a new one. Either way, they win. You might be thinking, okay, but I'll just buy used. I'll find a clean older truck before all this complicated tech, and that's where the next lie gets you. The used truck market is flooded with fleet vehicles that are sold as well-maintained. This is a massive hidden problem. Fleet vehicles are often maintained at the absolute minimum threshold. But here's the industry secret. When a fleet sells these trucks at auction, they go through a process called cosmetic reconditioning. They steam clean the engine bay so it looks spotless. They put tire shine on the tires. They might even spray paint the undercarriage to hide rust. But that truck? It has 20,000 idle hours on it. Idle hours are the silent killer. When a truck idles for hours a day on a job site, the engine is wearing out without adding miles to the odometer. You buy a truck that says 80,000 miles, thinking it's got half its life left. But the engine has the equivalent wear of 250,000 miles. The camshafts are flat, the cylinder walls are glazed, and you're going to be the one holding the bag when it starts knocking 6 months later. Let's talk about the promises they make regarding capability. The tow ratings. Have you ever looked at the sticker in the door jamb? It tells you the gross vehicle weight rating and the gross combined weight rating. The lie is that you can hit both numbers at the same time. They show you commercials of a truck pulling a massive fifth wheel up a mountain pass. What they don't show you is that the truck in the commercial has a payload package, a special axle ratio, and a disclaimer in fine print that says, "Professional driver on closed course." In reality, if you load that truck up to its max tow rating, you will exceed your payload capacity the second you put your family in the cab. And what happens then? You're overloaded. You're unsafe. Your brakes overheat. Your transmission fails. And if you get into an accident, your insurance can deny your claim because you were operating outside the manufacturer's specifications. They sold you a fantasy of capability, but they buried the math in the fine print, so you wouldn't realize the truck can't actually do what it says it can do without breaking the law or the truck itself. And before you think I'm just picking on the American brands, let's expose a lie that's been told about imports. The lie of unbreakable reliability. There's a specific foreign truck brand that has a cult following. People pay insane prices for used ones with high mileage because they believe the engine will run forever. And the engine might. But the frame? The frame is rotting out from under it. There are class action lawsuits regarding frames on these trucks rusting through in 5 years. The manufacturer's solution? They offer to spray a coating on the frame that actually traps moisture and makes it rust faster. So you have this truck that people worship, and the whole body is mounted on a frame that you can poke a screwdriver through. The engine will outlast the skeleton. And that cult following? They will still tell you it's the best truck ever made while they're paying $8,000 for a frame replacement. That is the power of brand loyalty, blinding you to reality. Now, I want to hit on something that keeps me up at night. The software. Modern trucks are computers on wheels, and the manufacturers are using software to lie to you. Have you ever noticed how your transmission seems to hesitate or shift weirdly? That's not always a mechanical problem. Sometimes it's a feature. Manufacturers program the transmission to learn your driving habits. But here's the catch. They also program it to prioritize fuel economy over longevity. So the transmission is constantly trying to shift into the highest gear possible as fast as possible, even if it lugs the engine. That lugging creates heat, and heat destroys transmissions. They are sacrificing your transmission's lifespan to meet government fuel economy standards. It's a software setting, and you can't change it unless you pay for an aftermarket tune, which voids your warranty. They trapped you. They built a truck that meets the EPA numbers on paper, but destroys itself in the real world. And what about the lifetime warranties? This is a brilliant lie that gets people in the door. We offer a lifetime powertrain warranty. Sounds incredible, right? But read the fine print. To keep that warranty active, you must do every single service at that specific dealership. You have to pay their marked up prices for oil changes, tire rotations, and coolant flushes. And if you miss one service by 100 miles, voided. Or, if you do all the services and the engine does fail, they have a clause that says, wear and tear items aren't covered. Guess what? To them, a spun bearing is wear and tear. A cracked piston is wear and tear. That warranty isn't there to protect you. It's there to lock you into their service department for the life of the truck. It's a leash, not a safety net. Look, if you're still watching this, it means you care about your money. You don't want to be the guy who gets tricked by the shiny commercials and the aggressive financing deals, and that's why I need you to do something for me right now. If you want to avoid these costly mistakes, if you want to stay ahead of the dealerships and the manufacturers who are designing these traps, you need to hit that like button. It tells YouTube to show this video to more people who are about to get ripped off. And subscribe to the channel. I'm here to pull back the curtain on every single industry secret they don't want you to know. Don't let them win. Hit subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and let's make sure you're the smartest buyer out there. Let's keep digging, because there's a lie that's currently being sold on showroom floors right now as we speak. It's the off-road package. I love off-road trucks, but here's the truth. 90% of trucks with the off-road package will never see a dirt road. And that's exactly what the manufacturer is counting on. They sell you a truck with off-road tuned shocks that are actually just softer, which makes the truck handle worse on the highway. They give you all-terrain tires that look aggressive, but wear out in 20,000 miles. And they charge you a premium for stickers and a locking rear differential that you will never use. But the hidden cost isn't just the upfront price, it's the maintenance. Those off-road components often have different service intervals. The front differential might require special fluid that's twice the cost. The skid plates? They trap salt and moisture in the winter, leading to rust spots on the frame that you can't see or clean. They sold you an image of adventure, and they charged you a premium for the privilege of higher maintenance costs and worse fuel economy. Now let's talk about the biggest financial mistake buyers make when they walk onto the lot. The trade-in. You roll up with your old truck, and they ask you how much you want for it. You tell them a number, and they say, "Okay, we can do that." You feel great. But here's the lie. They didn't give you a good deal on your trade-in. They just moved the numbers. They show you a high number for your trade to make you feel good, but they take that money right back by not negotiating the price of the new truck, or by adding in a higher interest rate. You walk away thinking you won, but you just paid MSRP on a truck that had $3,000 in markup, and you financed it at 8% when you could have qualified for 4%. The only thing that matters is the out-the-door price. If you focus on the trade-in value, you lose. They are manipulating your emotions. They make you feel like you're getting a steal on your old truck, so you don't question the price of the new one. And then there's the financing office. The finance manager's job is to sell you lies. The extended warranty, the paint protection, the fabric protection, the van etching, all of it is high-margin profit. But the worst lie they tell you in that office is about gap insurance. They tell you, if you total the truck, you'll owe more than it's worth, so you need our gap insurance for $30 a month. What they don't tell you is that your auto insurance provider likely offers gap insurance for a fraction of that cost, or that you can roll it into your loan for a one-time fee that is half of what they're charging. They prey on your fear of debt. They make you feel like you're being responsible, but you're just padding their commission check. I want to bring this home by talking about the most dangerous lie of all. The lie that new trucks are safer. Yes, they have more airbags. Yes, they have crumple zones. But they also have massive blind spots, hoods that are taller than a child, and infotainment screens that force you to take your eyes off the road to adjust the climate control. They market these as safety features, but the physical design of modern trucks has created a visibility crisis. You can't see the parking curb. You can't see the car directly in front of you in a parking lot, and the massive A-pillars can hide a pedestrian completely. They sell you the idea that you are safer because you are in a big vehicle, but they ignore the fact that the design makes you more likely to hit something in the first place. That's not safety. That's a false sense of security. So, here we are. You've heard the lies about the engines, the transmissions, the frames, the warranties, the financing, and the safety. You know now that the bulletproof reputation is often just a myth built on nostalgia. You know that the lifetime fluid is a ticking time bomb. You know that the dealership isn't your friend. And you know that the truck you thought was your dream might just be the most expensive mistake you ever make. But here's the good news. Knowledge is power. You are not powerless. You can refuse to pay the market adjustment. You can check the idle hours. You can change your transmission fluid at 50,000 miles regardless of what the manual says. You can walk out of the finance office. You can do your research and buy the truck that actually fits your needs, not the one that fits the manufacturer's profit margin. I need you to remember this. The truck industry is designed to make you feel like you're getting something rugged, authentic, and indestructible. But behind the curtain, it's a business. And their business model relies on you trading in every 3 to 5 years, taking a loss and coming back for more. The only way to beat them is to hold on to your vehicle, maintain it with real-world knowledge, and stop falling for the hype. If you take one thing away from this, let it be this. That shiny new truck might look good in your driveway, but the real value is in what you know. Don't let them lie to you. Don't let them take your money. And whatever you do, don't trust that the salesman has your best interest at heart. He has a quota, Now, I want you to go back to that first question I asked you. What brand did you think was bulletproof? Did I mention it? Are you driving one of these ticking time bombs right now? Tell me your story in the comments. Let's warn each other. Because the only way we beat these lies is by talking about them. I'll be in the comments reading every single one. And if you want to stay sharp, if you want to make sure you never overpay for a truck that's designed to fail, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. Watch the next video, because I'm about to show you the one truck that the dealers don't want you to buy, the one that actually holds its value and doesn't break the bank. Don't miss it. I'll see you in the next one.